Hello everyone, myself Gurpreet Singh Chabra. Welcome you back to my YouTube channel Revenues Learner. In my last two videos, we had discussed two very interesting topics, and that was in the first video we discussed about the 4 P's of marketing, and in the second video we discussed about the product lifecycle management. If you haven't checked out that video, make sure to check it out soon after this video. Today, we have a very interesting topic to discuss upon, that is the 10 most important pricing strategies in marketing. Now, price, as it is already known to everyone, it's a very important factor of the 4 P's of marketing, and so I decided to cover the price in detail. So let's get the learning started. So, to understand the pricing strategies in detail, let us have now a glimpse of the very basic questions, that what is meant by price, what is meant by strategy, what is meant by a pricing strategy, and why it is so important to understand the pricing strategies. Now, answering to the first question, that what is meant by price. Price is the value that is associated with a product. Price can be its cost price, selling price, or mark price, or it is usually called as MRP. Cost price is the price of actually manufacturing the product. Selling price is the price at which the customer purchases the product. The mark price is the price that is actually marked by the company to sell the product in the market. If you give some discounts on the mark price, you bring the mark price down to the selling price. If you don't give any discounts on the mark price, your mark price is itself your selling price of the product. Now, answering to the second question, what is meant by strategy? Strategy is having a vision and formulated plans to achieve those vision. Now, answering the third question, that what is meant by a pricing strategy? Pricing strategy is a strategy that is associated with the price. Now, strategy, it is very important because for any company to succeed in any field, it should have some kind of strategy. Now, since price is most important factor of the 4 P's of marketing, the pricing strategy becomes eventually more important for any company. So, this is the reason why it is important to understand the pricing strategies in detail. Now, let us now move to the pricing strategies in detail. Starting now, the topic that you all were eagerly waiting to listen for, that is the 10 most important pricing strategies in marketing. Starting with the first pricing strategy, that is the penetration pricing strategy. It is simply the strategy that can be adopted by any company which wishes to enter into any field that it has never entered before, or the company might be existing into that field and it wishes to launch a new product with features that are already found in other products offered by its competitors. So how this strategy will benefit the company? The company will set the price of the product to such a low extent that its demand easily increases into the market. Giving you the example is the services offered by telecom companies. If any telecom companies which wishes to stabilize its product into the market, it will offer very low price offers or even free subscriptions for around 6 months or even a year. How this will help the company? All the customers get attracted to such a telecom company and they leave aside other telecom company services they were using. So this will help the new company to stabilize itself into the market. Moving on to the second pricing strategy, that is the economy pricing strategy. How this strategy can be implemented? Economy pricing strategy can be implemented by pricing the products to the economy level. By matching to the economy level, I mean having very low spendings on the marketing and promotional cost of the products. How this strategy can help the company? By spending minimum on the promotional and marketing cost for the product, the company can eventually maximize its profit. For which products this strategy can be implemented are the products that have the manufacturing cost very low. For example, the sugar or tea. These products have the manufacturing cost very low as compared to other products. So for such products, even if you market a bit less, that is okay. The customer might purchase it. But if you do a lot of marketing and promotion for such kinds of product, that you might eventually end up with the case that your marketing and promotion costs are higher than the production cost of actually the product. So it is better to have the economy price for such products. Let us now move on to the third pricing strategy, that is the bundled product pricing strategy. Let me give you a simple example to help you all to understand this strategy better. There are two soap manufacturing companies, Company 1 and Company 2. Both the companies sell their 200 grams of soap. Like first company sells it for rupees 30, the second company sells its soap for rupees 15. The first company gets around 15 rupees of profit and the second company gets around 7 rupees of profit. Now, every customer might not be interested in the quality of the soap. Sometimes he might be interested in the price of the soap. So, he prefers company 2 over company 1 because he will prefer spending rupees 15 rather than spending rupees 30. Now, as he buys this soap, the company 2 will get eventually only 7 rupees of profit. But when the same company lets the customer purchase two bundled soap at around 25 rupees, the company will get around 10 rupees of profit. So the company has actually sold its two number of soaps and got 10 rupees of profit. While the company too, if it continues to sell its individual soaps, it will not end up having large number of soaps sold into the market, and at some point of time this company too will eventually surpass the company 1 because of its bundled sales surpassing the profit levels that are actually achieved by company 1. So the company 2 is actually the beneficiary in this case. So this is how the strategy can be implemented when you can actually price your product to very low extent, and for just getting the profits for the company, you can let the customers buy your soaps in a bundled form. How the customers will buy your soap in a bundled form is by giving them offerings. For example, 15 rupees one soap, so 5 soaps it will cost you around 75 rupees if you purchase individually, but you can offer this 5 soaps for around rupees 65. So you might lose a bit of profit, but then you sell a higher number of soaps. So eventually your quantity surpasses the profit levels that you actually can get out of a single soap sold out to the customer. So this is how the strategy can be implemented. Now moving on to the fourth pricing strategy, that is the optional product pricing strategy. This strategy basically means the company will provide you basic services at a very low price, but then for optional services, you will be charged on a higher basis. For example, airline booking. Now, if you wish to book a flight today and your actual departure of your flight is 4 to 5 months down the line, and then the prices are very low today, you will book it, you will feel very happy, and then you will not get the seat of your choice today, but that will be only allotted to you 2 to 3 days before the actual departure of your plane. Now comes the stage where your plane is going to depart after 2 to 3 days from today, and then you visit the website of the airline to have your boarding pass. To have your desired seat, they ask you to pay some extra charges. So this is how the company charges the customer on its optional products. So this is how the company can get more and more profits while it offered its basic services at a very low cost. This helped the company to occupy the airline in the initial stages of booking, but now since the airline is fully occupied, the company can raise the charges of its optional services so that it can gain more profit out of the customer. This is how the strategy is implemented. Now moving on to the fifth pricing strategy, that is the captive product pricing strategy. What is meant by captive product? Captive product is a product that can be provided with the basic product so as to make the basic product functional. Unless the basic product is available along with the captive product, it can't be used. The very basic example of the captive product pricing strategy is that of a razor blade. The razors, if unaccompanied by its blade, then it can't be used. The companies will manufacture the razor and its blade to such a size that the other company blades will not fit in the same razor. So the customer is eventually forced to purchase the captive product, the blades in this case, along with the basic razor. With this, the companies might give the razor at a very low price but then charge a higher amount for its blades. So this is how the company raise their profits, and this is how the strategy is implemented. Moving on to the sixth pricing strategy, that is the psychological based pricing strategies. Sometimes most of the customers are often interested in the price of the product rather than the quality of the product. While thinking from the company perspective, because of the high quality of the products, the company are unable to price the products at a very low extent. Because of this, the companies might face losses. To avoid losses, the companies should use this strategy. The companies should judge the psychological behavior of the customers and price their products accordingly. What I mean by this, you often find examples of products across e-commerce websites where the products are just charged 1 rupee below the round figure. For example, a 200 rupee product might be charged around rupees 199, or 300 rupee product can be charged at around rupees 299. So this is just because the companies are judging the psychological behavior of the customer, where they have a perception the customer feels paying rupees 299 is much better than paying a figure of 300 and above, because the major figure which comes while saying such a figure is the figure 3. So the change is on a higher side. The customer is bound to purchase a product which is priced on a lower side rather than a higher priced product. So this is how this strategy works. Now we move on to the seventh pricing strategy, that is the premium product pricing strategies. Some companies do prepare products that are primarily made for the premium market. That means their products are sold at a higher price than the usual price. This creates the hype for the product and usually helps the company in an indirect manner to raise the demand for the product when it is actually not available into the market. This helps the company to sell the product at a higher prices on a sales that are lasting for a very few minutes. This helps the company to eventually maximize their profits, and this is how the strategy works. Now we move on to the eighth pricing strategy, that is the product value pricing strategy. Many a times companies are unable to sell their products just because the customer perceives the quality and the price of the product differently than what is perceived by the company. At such times, the companies are forced to bring down their prices to the expectations of the customer. For example, there are two major burger outlets. One sells for rupees 200 and another, which is just a newly launched one, sells the burger for rupees 100. The customers are bound to get attracted to the rupees 100 burger just because the price might be a consideration for them. On the other hand, when the quality of the company selling the 200 rupees burger is very good, but then the customer eventually feels that their quality is not up to the mark, the company is forced to bring the prices down from rupees 200 to a lower extent, from where they can actually sell their burgers to a larger extent than previously sold. So this is how this strategy works. Let us now move on to the ninth pricing strategy, that is geographic locational based pricing strategy. This strategy can be adopted by companies which are operating in many other countries. In the origin country where the product is actually made, the price of the product might be very low, whereas in other countries, the prices may vary as different costs associate with the product now when the product is shifted from the origin country to the other country. The costs that are associated with the products are the shipping costs, the tax systems might be different in different countries, also the currency rate might be different in different countries. One more important factor while deciding these prices is the competition in different countries. Based on the competition in different countries, your product may have the demand or may not have the demand. So you have to adjust the prices accordingly. So this is how the strategy works. Without much ado, let us now move on to the last pricing strategy, that is the promotional based pricing strategy. In the promotional based pricing strategies, the company might create a scarcity environment or may offer one product along with the buy of another product. This helps the company to generate more and more demand in the future of the other products as well. This is just because the customer becomes slowly habituated to the newer products of the company, and in future the customer raises demands for the other products as well. This is how the company can attract the customers and generate huge profits in the future. So, in conclusion, the pricing strategies you choose will decide the future of your company. The profits and the sales of the company totally depend on the price you set for the products of your company. Thank you for watching this video. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel by clicking on my picture just next to this video. Also, make sure to watch my previous videos. The links are in the below pictures. Please make sure to like and comment. Please let me know which pricing strategies among all these you have already implemented in your company and which pricing strategies you want in the future to implement for your company. Thank you. Goodbye.